and important. During this quarantine, preteen and teen girls are very stressed about the weight that they've gained and about going back to school this fall, whether it's virtual or in person. So here with tips on how to help them navigate their way through these trying times is the author of the Body Image book for girls, Dr. Charlotte Markey. Dr. Markey, you are right on time. Thanks for being here.
It's so exciting to be talking with you.
Well, I have 3 daughters at home, so I hate to make this all about me, but everybody, it's all about me right now. Everybody just be about this, because I'm telling you, this is a constant conversation in my house right now. I have an oldest daughter who's getting ready to go into her sophomore year. Her freshman year was cut short, and so now it's all of a sudden, it's all about how she looks, and there's this anxiety. So what in the world are we supposed to do as parents to try and help, I don't know, promote a positive body image for our girls?
Yeah, there's actually a lot we can do to help our girls develop positive body image. And we really want to, especially right now, things have been chaotic, people have been home, life feels not normal, right? Mm-hmm. So we really want to be offering support. We don't want to be criticizing or adding to our girls' concerns. So if your daughters are saying, like, have I gained weight, or what should I do about this? Really don't go there, right? The first thing to do is just to be unconditionally positive with our girls.
Okay, so question to that question. So if my daughter is asking, have I gained weight? If you have, how do you not answer that question honestly? What do you say?
I mean, if it was me, I would say, well, what do you think?
I'm only laughing because I've done that. And she says, well, I think I've gained weight. And then I just kind of follow up with more questions as to avoid answering.
Right. So my next question would be, why does it matter?
Okay, see? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So then if they're like, well, you know, it matters because everybody, you know, I see on social media, it looks like they're all still looking the same and I feel fluffy. Okay, what now?
Okay, so, you know, no one on social media is real, right? So this is not the group of people we want to be comparing ourselves to.
Okay.
Social media is not good for social comparison. Right? So if you are in touch with people on social media that are making you feel bad about yourself, get rid of them. Get them out of your social media life.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Done, just quick, good. Quick tips and things that you can actually do to help, you know, ward off some of this anxiety, right? Okay, so I know that you wrote an article about eating during a pandemic, which I find to be interesting. Can you share your thoughts about that and what you wrote?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a little bit of good that could come in terms of what we eat from our experiences of being home, right? So pre-pandemic, so many of us were just racing around always, not thinking about what we ate. You know, food was necessary, but not necessarily enjoyable.
Right.
And I think then, you know, what the pandemic did for a lot of people is it forced us to be more careful about our food choices. We couldn't get groceries as easily. We had time to make food. So we were making better choices oftentimes.
Right.
And, you know, people always say then, well, what about snacking? I was snacking more because I was home. You know, snacking is not inherently bad.
Really?
Snacking is fine. No, if you're hungry, you should eat.
Is it what we should eat, though? I mean, like all the cookies and stuff and the cake and all the baking that's been going on. Are those the things we should eat?
Too. Baking can be great and snacking can be great. Of course, it matters what it is. You know, if you're making bread and that's part of your dinner, awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're making cookies every single day, well, if you eat 1 or 2 a day, you're fine. Enjoy.
I
think
you.
That's a pandemic lesson, though, right? Savor and enjoy, right? Life is unpredictable.
That's true. That's true. I really like your philosophy on this. Now, here's something that I read that you also say. You suggest no dieting, even if weight loss or weight gain is a concern. Why do you feel that way?
You know, all the data on dieting is really clear. And I feel like it's one of the best kept secrets of science, because the average person doesn't realize that dieting is more likely to lead to weight gain than weight loss. It doesn't work. Don't do it, right? If you feel unhealthy or like you want to change your eating habits, you can do that, right? You can do that gradually. Stop making cookies every single day. You know, when you put in your grocery order, leave the chips off.
Yeah.
You know, there are common sense things we all know that we can do. And yes, we will lose weight probably if we do some of those things. We have to commit to it. We have to decide it's worth it. And sometimes, you know what, it's not. Sometimes the cookies are better. So
that's going to be a
This
new
is a choice.
hashtag. I love that. Sometimes the cookies are better. They just are.
That's right. I
They
mean,
just are.
This is life, right? We have to make choices.
Yeah.
So dieting is not the answer. It will not work.
So would you then, what you're basically suggesting then, if you are concerned about your weight gain, then a lifestyle change in your diet, not dieting per se.
Yeah, and the distinction is really important, right? It's not just a linguistic thing, because a diet almost always is kind of a fad. It's a trend. It's keto. It's very prescriptive, and it's just not sustainable. And so then that's why we gain our weight back when we go that route. So what we really need to do is really think about what's going to work for us.
Okay.
And, you know, it needs to be gradual, so it's sustainable, and it needs to be something that works with our life.
Sure.
Right?
No, I get that. That makes sense. Now, I
Yeah.
know that you've written primarily about girls, but but do you think that boys are also having some of these same anxieties?
Yeah, I'm actually currently working on the body image book for boys.
Oh, yay.
And so I've been talking to lots of boys, and, you know, they don't always articulate their concerns the same way, and they don't talk with each other about these issues, I think, the way that girls and women do. But it doesn't mean that they don't have these worries, right? And boys can be pretty brutal to each other too.
Right.
So I can't tell you how many, you know, tween or teen boys have said to me that, you know, so-and-so always calls them fat, and how that really deeply hurts them. So boys are not off the hook, unfortunately. We have to think about our boys as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that makes sense to me as well. I would think that weight gain doesn't just happen to girls. It's just
Right.
that girls are more vocal and emotional sometimes.
Right.
Oh, please don't get mad at me. About how that
Right.
manifests, you know, and how that affects their lives on a regular, as opposed to boys who
Right.
though feel the same way. And I wanted to make sure that we talked a little bit about boys too, because we didn't want to leave them out. I know that they have body
That's
body image issues as well. So I appreciate
Thank
the
you.
work that you put in. I appreciate the tips and the hashtags that we put together today. And good. I think that I can take this home tonight and probably just pose more questions than trying to provide answers for my girls.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to have a better conversation around it, as opposed to just trying to say, well, just stop eating then, or whatever it is. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Yeah, so you guys, we are going to have more information about Dr. Markey and her book, The Body Image Book for Girls, on our website at KATU.com. And don't forget, the one for boys is coming up too. We'll be right back. Thanks.